We sort of built an entire ecosystem around that capability.
All right, my name is Ryan Epps. I'm with Tech Times. I'm here with now. Can you guys say your names and who you're with? Distil Union is the company essentially, right? And yeah, just dive into it.
Yeah, I'm Nate Justiss. I'm co-founder and industrial designer with Distil Union.
And I'm Lindsay Windham. I'm the other co-founder, and I'm the art director and graphic designer.
Awesome. Now, what brought you guys together? What essentially made you go, Distil's the move right now?
Yeah.
We had met working together for a company called DLO that did like iPod accessories. At the time, there was no iPhone, if you could imagine. And that company sort of was acquired by Philips Electronics. And then they moved the office out of South Carolina where we were. We were in Charleston.
Awesome.
And we didn't want to move. So we stayed in Charleston and remained friends. And not too long after, we realized we have all these product ideas, and how hard could it be to start a business and create products? So we got together with our friend Adam and started. We had a roadmap of like 10 products, and we did a Kickstarter, and that was 11 years ago.
Yeah, that was the beginning. I was the product design manager at DLO, and then at Philips for that business unit. And it was an exciting time to be in iPhone accessories. And as an industrial designer, you got to touch a lot of different things: headphones, speakers, docks, cases, battery packs, cables. You wouldn't
expect it, right? The gamut. It's such a,
it's a wide range of products, and we got to know some really good manufacturers, had some good relationships with them. And so it was sort of industrial design boot camp. I'd been in marine design before that, designing boats.
Oh, wow.
So that was my first job with consumer electronics.
Much bigger.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. So it was, the boats were more sort of an architectural scale, and products. I really liked something that I could sort of fully prototype end to end, full size, there at my desk, or with a 3D printer or something like that. So it was interesting, the speed at which development moved.
Yeah.
It was fast, and we got a lot of experience with a lot of different things. So it was an interesting time to be in it.
For sure. No, I was actually, was it last week? I was just at a boat show for Brunswick. Brunswick was doing a little, I guess, media event, and
I worked for Brunswick. Yeah. For a Brunswick brand, Boston Whaler.
Nice. So. Yeah. Boston Whaler. Yeah. I rode one of their Boston. I forget the
22 Dauntless.
I forget.
The new Dauntless.
It was maybe actually. Yeah. I think it was. It was actually. They were actually showing that off. Okay. I got to ride on the top too. So there was like this extra portion, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was so much fun.
That's cool.
I think the boating scene is really interesting, but I mean, we're here.
It's a different world.
Yeah. We're here because of these. Can you guys describe what kind of led this into creation? Why you wanted to put magnets in sunglasses? Like what led to the idea behind it?
Yeah, well, it was around the time when we started the company. I usually don't spend a whole lot on sunglasses, and at one point, for some reason, I splurged and probably spent $200 on a pair. And I went to a football game. I graduated from Auburn, so I think it was the first time I'd gone back. I think it was around 2010, and I had that expensive pair, right here in my shirt. And at some point during that game, I lost them. Yep. And it's a common problem. They fall out. I mean, people just take them off their head. The game, it started in the daytime, went to dark, put them on my shirt, and they fell off somewhere. So it was disappeared forever. So I literally came back from that game, and I had another pair. I think they were some Oakleys, a sacrificial pair that I could risk prototyping on, and I just at the mercy of my drill press and a press fit magnet, I created a pair that basically had press fit magnets in them, so that they would clip to my shirt. And
interesting.
I see. Yeah, and we were running the company and doing things completely different than eyewear. and then one day I was like, I still have these around. They're still working.
These sunglasses have lasted like 7 years.
We should do something with this. And fortunately, I had a friend that I went to school with who did a lot of design work in eyewear, and he sort of taught me the basics of eyewear design, and actually how to CAD up the frames. And
yep.
So I was tinkering with those in a 3D printer, and we got in touch with a eyewear manufacturer, and decided we'd launch a Kickstarter and see how it went. And it did really well. It was received well on Kickstarter, and we just started with 2 frames. And they've been one of our most popular products for sure. I mean, people have really liked that feature, and we sort of built an entire ecosystem around that capability. I mean, the fact that you can stick them on a vertical surface where they're not really competing with other clutter.
I was going to say,
you can stick them on the fridge. I mean, we have them stuck here behind us with, we've got key organizer here. So you can walk out the door with your keys, your wallet, and your sunglasses. We even have
right there, yeah.
I mean, we have some magnetic features on some of our wallets, but they'll stick on there, and we've got other keys,
magnets.
So it's been sort of a fun little out the door ecosystem to build. But that's where the glasses came from, and the others sort of fit in with them.
That was one thing you mentioned that you that they can stay on your clothes, and that's nothing I didn't realize that that's an awesome, because I had it on my fridge too. I just kept them on my fridge, and that was like my number one, here they are, boom, I'm like out the door. It's so easy. But yeah, that's awesome. Now, can you explain what you kind of already did but what other products you guys make, and what other, I guess, reasons that you wanted to get into this business?
Yeah, I think I'll take that one. We started with wanting to solve problems, like little irritations. So the first product that we did was like the first thing we were annoyed with in the day. So like at the time, it was waking up with your iPhone, and you had to swipe the screen to snooze it. And so we would swipe it and knock our phone off the nightstand, or actually turn the alarm off accidentally, and or lose our charging cable behind the nightstand. So we were like, let's solve this problem as simply as possible. So we made a little wooden dock that had a big rubber snooze bar on the top. So you could slide your phone in, and when you would hit it, it would snooze your alarm, and it held your cable in place. So that's where we started. And we swore we would never make an iPhone case, because we had made so many with Philips and DLO. But we realized the problem with our iPhones was, so many, but I would want to carry my iPhone and my just a couple cards. And get out the door. It's all about just things being easy. And Nate had this. Oh, actually, I found the prototype.
Oh, you did?
That just using a pull tab let us stick this little tiny leather pocket on the back of the phone. So then awesome. We could just grab our phones when phones were teeny tiny and carry a few cards. And the pull tab let it be sort of secret. You didn't know that you were carrying cards. It wasn't like a big wallet case.
Yeah.
So that was the next sort of iPhone.
There we are,
two
iPhone accessories. And the reason we didn't want to chase Apple products in the beginning was because like what we'd come from, I mean, we saw the business side of it, and it was just a scramble all the time with retail resets and iPhone launches, and you get stuck with inventory. And so we knew some of the pitfalls of it, and it just seemed like a horrible way to live, chasing some of the Apple stuff. But you're at the mercy of whatever they wanted to change next. But it is a great market. It's and we had an idea that we thought was pretty useful. I mean, we prototyped them and used them all the time. And we were like, man, like I don't need another wallet. This one's super easy. And it was, at the time, it was just the stick-on, so it was super minimal. We worked at a place that did cases, and everybody in the office was like oddly anti-case. It was like we loved the industrial design of the phone.
Yeah, but that's dangerous.
It is dangerous, and it's gotten more dangerous because they've gotten more and more expensive. And I use a case now.
Nice.
So I use Apple's, and then our MagSafe. Awesome. So our MagSafe
sort of evolved.
Yeah. And this is sort of this has a few more features than the Apple one. It's got the pull tab for easy access, and it'll carry 4 cards instead of 3.
And it's universal. You don't have to get a new one for the iPhone 14, whatever it may be. It's universal.
Right. Yeah. We were super excited to see MagSafe, because that allowed us to basically untether from the form factor. So they come out with a 14, like this still works on it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now find out in September.
Yeah,
right. No, and we got a couple weeks, I think. Right, it's September 7th.
7th, yeah.
But now what else do you guys have in store? What other cool things, if you can tell me, what other cool things do you guys have in store?
Well, we just recently expanded the sunglasses range, so we have a lot more styles. And
colors, right?
Yeah, and colors. We've got
we launched the tortoise is new, and the 6 different styles, and a couple of them are made for women's faces, a little smaller, a little more stylish.
Interesting.
We tend to stay pretty neutral, but it was fun. Like, if you're putting stuff on people's faces, they do care about how they look. So it was fun to sort of explore the core different types of designs that people like and what's popular, and still the Wayfair design is our bestseller by far, but it was our first one, but it's pretty face flattering. So and then it was like magnets. What other problems can we solve? And organizing your keys, a lot of key organizers at the time, it was a few years ago, that you would lock your keys sort of into a structure, like a hard structure, or it was good to organize and like silence your keys, but it was hard to get your keys out and like share a key. We're usually often sharing the key. So using magnets to sort of create a new snap mechanism that lets you share, and then also keep stuff on the fridge, because it's really easy to misplace your keys, and like in the mad scramble to leave keys or something, you always need to grab too. So we've got those out the door, and we have like a wall mount that, I don't know if you've seen it, the Mod Station. It's like a really minimal little tray that's lined with felt, so you can put your phone in and charge it. So really all the stuff you need to leave is right there, right mounted by the door.
But yeah, you asked what's next, and working. I mean, we're a pretty small team, so we're somewhat limited on what we can handle as far as launches. But we have a pretty deep roadmap with about at least 20 products right now.
Oh, wow.
That would, I mean, honestly, that would last us a while to develop. And we're in the process of prototyping those. Some of it's like building out other wallets. We've got some more sunglasses that are launching in next month. And just another style out of a new material. Those that just launched were it's a pretty cool new material, Pebex Renew, and it's made out of castor beans. So it's an interesting, really flexible elastomer.
Even more than
it's-
this, I assume. I mean, this
It,
I feel like
It's
you could run this
the
over and it'll be fine.
yeah, those are actually made out of beans.
Cool.
The
Oh,
ones
that's
you're
awesome.
holding. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So we
And
were
how
able
did
to.
that come about? Was it iterating and just
Well, I mean, a lot of times when we're developing products, I mean, we want them to be, when we produce them, as environmentally responsible as we can. So we'll have these conversations with manufacturers, like, what can we do with the leather? Where can we source from that's people are tanning leather in the most responsible manner, and so that we source our leather from a leather working group audited tannery, and they sort of audit things regarding what they do with their wastewater and the chemicals that they use. So where they get their hides from.
And we actually visit these places. So we visited the tannery, and we're visiting the place that's making the sunglasses, so we can have these conversations in person, which is really helpful to convey things that are important to us that maybe other companies don't necessarily, invest a lot of energy into. But for us, it was sort of practical because we need these magnets to touch each other. And so having a little bit of flex in the sunglasses and in the arms just helps get that click lined up just right with the magnets.
The magnets, the closer they are in alignment, the stronger the connection is. So they kind of needed a material that was flexible. I mean, we also preferred flexible material just because it's going on a soft face, and it feels better. I mean, it almost doesn't make sense to have sort of hard frames on a soft face when you can get it rigid enough to keep its shape, flex to fit different faces. But as far as the castor bean material, that was a request from us to our manufacturer. Are they working with any materials that are more environmentally friendly? Can we source something that's not petroleum based plastic,
something bio based?
So they came up, introduced us to that great option, and the more we read about it, it was like, yes, this absolutely. You should have told us this in the beginning. Why isn't everybody using this? So,
and that means, I mean, even if people, God forbid, throw these out, they'll always be biodegradable. They're not going to harm the planet, essentially.
Well, yeah, it's mostly on the front end, their production. So it's a crop that has it's a sustainable crop.
It's not taking up farmland that would otherwise be used to make plants. It grows in really arid regions. So, and the castor beans, you actually can't eat them. So it's a nice, just a sustainable approach for material, but we combine it with TPU. So you get that flexibility and durability. So they aren't going to disappear into the ground. They aren't going to you can't bury them in the ground and have them totally disappear. That would be a great goal. But the lenses are triacetate, so those are bio-based as well.
Gotcha.
And it's tough talking about sort of environmentally responsible versus sustainable.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, those are two very different things. I mean, almost anything we do as far as production, it's difficult to be sustainable at scale. So we all need to do our part, and it's tough as a producer of things to encourage people to use them as long as you can, buy fewer things.
Fix the things that you have if you can.
Sort of counter to business, but
no, I totally get it.
That's something I enjoy on the blog is writing about just like tips and tricks on how you can make sustainable decisions in other parts of your life, and taking care of the things you have, and buying things that are well made that are going to last a long time. I mean, one of the best things we can do is help you keep from losing your sunglasses. Right.
And so that hopefully helps.
Keep them out of the landfill.
What would you say your brand ethos is? What would you say is like at the forefront of your business?
forefront of our business. Oh, we need the elevator pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, making a difference in your everyday life with, clever design, that's fun to use. That's sort of our goal behind our mission behind a product. If it solves a problem and makes you smile when you use it, then it makes the cut.
Nice. No, that's very important. Now, what about 5 years from now? Where do you guys see yourselves?
Ooh,
5 years. Well, we may have gotten through that the current roadmap. Probably within 4. So yeah, at that point we'll have a good many more products. I mean, it's funny, you get done with one product and you think I'm spent. I got no more ideas.
That was the last one.
That's the last idea, and then you run into another problem and you get excited about solving that again.
Because sunglasses weren't on our roadmap at all, and neither were wallets. Wallets weren't on our roadmap when we started. We had, a really cool speaker and, just a little more gadgety things. And I think as frustrations popped up in our lives, we were like, oh, we can fix that. Like maybe we can tinker and like prototype something and maybe it would resonate with people who have the same problem. I think we've been spending a lot of time at home, thanks COVID. So doing sort of like work from home things, but then also travel. That's something that we love doing. So making a passport wallet, for example, or, a passport cover, things like that just make sense for us in our lives that we would like to have. Definitely can see introducing that stuff sooner than later.
Yeah.
How was COVID for you guys, business wise and just in general? I mean, I know a lot of people didn't, and some people thrived, some people didn't, right? I mean,
we were making things that you grab on your way out the door.
we literally, so we lived in Hong Kong for 2019 to sort of develop products.
Oh, wow.
And we launched our Ferris system, which was I mean, the theme of that was like we fixed your out the door routine, and we literally shot in January in Hawaii a bunch of little features and little ads, people walking out the door. Mid-March, nobody had an out the door routine. So our big, our big launch was it was stifled a bit, and it was. COVID, especially 2020, was tough for us. We introduced some masks with a U.S. supplier. Everybody was doing that. That was we took those proceeds and donated them. And
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And I mean, we really had to sort of step back. It was a tough year. 2021 was much better, and we've fully rebounded, but it was an interesting time to get through. I think a lot of people, there was a lot of uncertainty, and people were spending on essentials, and they just shifted their focus elsewhere. I mean, what we were selling just didn't really match up with sort of a social distance life. So
we weren't going to make up like DUTP. Like we weren't going to get into like toilet paper or anything like that. Doing the masks was something that we wanted to do. And we did incorporate a magnet so you could keep it on the fridge or on the mod station. Cool. But yeah, once we sold through those, we weren't going to make any more, even though they were really handy in Hong Kong. People in there were very good about wearing masks, pandemic or otherwise.
Yeah, even before.
Not feeling well.
Well, how was Hong Kong? How was living there and like just working with people there? How was that?
It was so wonderful.
Yeah, we loved it. We were just talking about it last night. We miss the public transit, all the food, and it was a great experience. It was a tough time to be there. It was mostly tough for Hong Kong locals.
Yeah.
The pro-democracy protests were started up a couple months after we got there.
Yeah, so it was a lot. I mean, it was protests and tear gas and a lot of political turmoil there. So it was there were a lot of tensions. But it was, I mean, Hong Kong's an incredible city,
Yeah, it's one of our favorite places in the world. So we
Wow.
were hoping to relocate there, but then I came back to Fairhope, Alabama, is where we are now, where Nate's family is.
Nice. So my dad lives down in I can't think. He lives in Alabama, but I can't think of
Oh,
the
really?
county. Yeah, I can't think of the county right now.
Okay.
But yeah,
It's
I
a
mean,
big state.
it's beautiful down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been quiet. I mean, we've been here for 2 years. My granddad is 95 this year, so moved down here
Wow.
to spend some time with him, and it's been good. It's been a good, quiet place to sort of regroup and
yeah.
to work on
Yeah.
developing some more products.
Right out
For
of
sure.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to
and
mention, I was really, really lucky in 2020 to sort of step back from the business and take a sabbatical, and sort of reorganize my thoughts and my priorities, and think about, why am I in the business and why am I in the world, and what can I do with myself and my time, and I planned it to be a wonderful time to read and travel and all of these things I wanted to sort of do to absorb. And then the lockdown happened, and and it was a different vibe for sure. But I highly recommend anytime you can. I was really lucky to have Nate, who was kept the ship going, and actually improved it while I was away. But I think being able to get that perspective was really important. So as a small business owner who really identifies with the business is very of us. So it was really nice to get a little step back and breathe and get perspective and see what's important. And yeah, the hashtag good design is good for you. That's sort of that would be our ethos, I would say. And just making sure that we and our products sort of deliver on that.
Awesome. No, I love that. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add?
Oh man.
Did you have any other questions? I like answering questions.
Oh yeah, I mean, for sure. Well, I wanted to know is specifically you moving to Hong Kong, and is the manufacturing site still over there?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah.
And how was it learning? Was business operations different over there as opposed to here? How did moving to Hong Kong help your business? And you know what I mean? It's just curious to me is you guys moved all the halfway around the world, or pretty much all the way around the world.
Yeah, I mean, the way we have our business set up operationally, we can kind of run it from anywhere. We have a warehouse in Charleston, South Carolina. We started in Charleston. Customer service is based there. Our accounting is based there. We have Amazon manager who's in Charleston, and we're pretty used to doing things virtually. I mean, Zoom calls and all that. So it was set up so that we could kind of run it from anywhere. And my function as an industrial designer, it always helps to be closer to manufacturing.
Yeah.
It speeds up development. It gets rid of miscommunication. If I can be there closer to where the product is made, you get a better product in a faster amount of time. So I was really excited. I spent a good bit of time over there anyway. And
we would go a couple times a year. He would go twice a year, and I would just go once a year.
Do both of you know Mandarin? Is it Mandarin?
Yeah.
No, Cantonese.
Yeah, it's Cantonese in Hong Kong and Mandarin in the mainland.
And I can say mayo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't.
It's really easy to get around Hong Kong with English.
Okay.
And the factories are so close to Hong Kong, and so used to working with Westerners that generally your project manager speaks English, and so you're there with them as a translator. Would it help to speak Mandarin? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm a little embarrassed that after so many years working with mainland China that I don't know Mandarin. It would definitely come in handy. I'd recommend any industrial designer learn it if you're going to do some manufacturing over there.
Wow.
But the setup is really incredible. Nate mentioned a project manager. When we work on a project that's made in Florida, for example, I'm managing as the packaging designer, an order for boxes, an order for the paper insert, an order from another company for the barcode. There's just those three things are three different orders in the States. And, you're sort of managing getting that all together and packaging them. Whereas with Hong Kong and our partners there, they're really just set up to deliver a final product. So Nate's working with someone on the product design. I'm working with someone on the packaging design, and they manage it all, and it is literally delivered.
There's a lot less friction in the supply chain. It's a whole lot more efficient. And that's one of the reasons it's so hard to compete with production over there. There's a lot more work in getting things produced here, and we have before, and we'll probably continue to in the future. But it just depends on what you're making. And you kind of have to design around the supply chain. So our wallets would look different if they were made in the US. And they may in the future. And we're certainly looking at production in other areas. So always looking at different capabilities, and we may pivot at some point.
Wow. Well, so you have no brick and mortar stores? No,
we don't. No.
We had one. We had a pop-up shop in Charleston for a year. That was super fun, but super distracting. We didn't really launch much because we were working on our design shop. We really wanted to bring a lot of modern brands to Charleston. That's something we always loved when we would go to Hong Kong, was going to these design shops and discovering new brands. And so we wanted to bring that to Charleston, but we couldn't afford a Main Street shop. So we were on the second floor and had this really cool big space. And so we had like a prototyping area, and we could host events, and we had a pop-up shop, and sold everything from lamps to backpacks to just beautiful hand-blown glassware, just whatever interesting things we thought were really.
It was like our own little design museum.
It was super fun.
The pop-up shops, especially in New York, they are, I feel like, the best, because they're almost like a limited edition, collectible. You don't know what you're gonna get there, and it's fun. That's awesome.
It was super fun.
Now, you said you're trying to make new designs. What kind of other designs are you gonna make? Regular glasses, like reading glasses? Are you going to jump into that space at all?
Yeah, there's a possibility of that. We don't have anything in development right now as far as the reading glasses. But we do have a couple new styles coming out. But absolutely, that function certainly makes sense.
See, Nate doesn't need reading glasses yet. I do.
It's coming.
I do too.
So it is quite likely, when both of us need reading glasses, that we will launch the reading glasses. But yeah, our Cooper style, those are Italian acetate frames. So those work with, if somebody wanted to have maglock, clip, but want to put their prescription lenses in it, then we do offer an acetate frame. And so those I could see becoming good for readers, because those we have in a blue light blocker as well.
Awesome.
So
the reader space is a tough one to compete in. The market is you can go pick up a reader,
get a pack of 5
5 or 6,
because you lose them, because they get lost everywhere. So the magnets do solve for that. So it would make sense. We do have to be super selective with what we launch, because it takes a lot of energy to plan a photo shoot and create product listings and write copy and design packaging. And so we've designed, there's so much stuff in our archive cutting room floor folder that we just didn't launch. We did a smartwatch before the Apple Watch came out.
Oh wow.
But it was not it didn't have a screen. It was a beautiful, just a light display that would shine through leather, and we had a digital crown.
Yeah, we actually called it the digital crown, and
that's awesome.
We were working on a UI based on the a digital crown, and then they launched theirs, and we were like,
we're not gonna make
that. That's a good watch.
I think, even Samsung is pretty big in the smartwatch realm. But I was going to ask, have you ever been approached by any companies to do collabs of any kind? I know that sounds really weird, but you're working. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, cool. No.
Let's see. Approached by companies. trying to think of a specific example. My knee-jerk reaction is yes, but I can't.
Nothing's come to fruition.
Yeah, we're too introverted.
I was gonna say like my first one would be like Ray-Bans. Like Ray-Bans would be the first ones would be like, oh, you know,
license the back or something.
Yeah, we've got some good contacts in that realm. That space is interesting because it's basically owned by one big company, Exotica,
and one slightly smaller but big company.
One slightly smaller but also big company. Yeah, who does designs for a lot of different companies. But yeah, we there's certainly potential with that line for collaboration for sure.
When we had the big studio retail space, we had a huge a Glowforge laser cutter or laser engraver, and we did a series of artist cases. So we had
pretty small collabs.
So smaller sort of limited edition collabs
but
has
still
been what we did. It was fun. It's just a lot of work to coordinate.
And I guess your biggest market would be the US.
Yeah. By far.
Interesting.
Singapore is also popular during Kickstarters. There's a lot of crowdfunding fans.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where it heads. But most of our advertising is in the US, and
of course
a lot of that's logistics, like where your warehouse is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're in the US, so shipping is a lot more affordable in the US.
Shout out to the US Postal Service.
Have you done any cool like social media campaigns, like Instagram stuff, or with influencers? Yeah.
We think it's cool.
Yeah.
Influencers, I mean, we've connected with some folks, and it's really cool to see our product in other people's hands and like how they use it. And just having other people talk about our stuff is always more compelling, I think, to me. But yeah, it's been fun. Our social media team is actually a husband and wife in Hawaii that do our photography and manage our Instagram, and they do crazy stuff. They like ran over the sunglasses and like they were throwing the key loop off the balcony,
stuff. I was
we were like, oh my god, like I want to do it.
But they're making a point. That's
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and now, okay, what is Distil Union? Where did that come from? What does that mean?
Ooh, yeah, I could do that. The Distil. So Distil was sort of getting to the root of a problem, like getting to the essence, and solving a problem with really clear, simple design. I wouldn't say basic, but distilled, simplified, and also, simplifying your life. And then Union was us getting together. It had a good like blue collar vibe. Like
there were three of us in the beginning. Guy I went to school with, Adam Prince. He was also an industrial designer, and so the three of us started Distil Union, and it was literally ran it out of our apartment in downtown Charleston, and got our start on Kickstarter. So it was sort of a bootstrappy feel, and that's where sort of the union part came in. It reflected the team.
Like coming together and working on stuff.
It was a team that sort of got together and simplified things. So
that's awesome.
It's a pretty literal name.
I wanted to add before anything. I'm from North Carolina. I was born in North Carolina in Charlotte. So I have a fondness with Charleston. I have a fondness with that area.
Nice.
And it's just it's like my home, my real home, as opposed to New York where I live now.
Okay.
But I mean, again, is there anything else you guys wanted to add? I have pretty much asked everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to see next?
What do I want to see? What
problems do you have, or what do you think would make a good distill product?
That is a terrific question. Honestly, the thing is with magnets is it scares me because I actually wanted to ask too. Like, did you have any pushback when it comes to putting a magnet next to a phone? Because it's always the big taboo, right? I mean, people, even just card readers, like for your when you're going to a hotel, they say don't bring that near your phone. Was there any pushback in that regard? Because like that's where I'd come. It's like I love
Yeah, people
technology,
were
but the
hesitant.
magnets scare me.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah,
You're not alone.
yeah. Like with the wallets, a lot of it's sort of the orientation of where the magnet is. It's, proud of the strip. Magnets in cards. Well, most everybody has experience with this. They've pretty much moved to chip cards. You do have a magnetic strip, but it's sort of rarely used.
Okay.
So certainly not as much of a risk.
Yeah.
And they're encoded a lot stronger than, say, your hotel key card.
Gotcha.
But certainly if you have a magnet that sort of passes, or a magnetic strip that passes by where the magnet's placed.
If it was a really strong magnet and you did it a lot, then it could cause a problem. But they're definitely designed so that the magnet doesn't overlap the magnetic strip at all. And then there's also just the like your phone has magnets in it. You've got your speaker, and there are magnets around you that you're not aware of. That are serving a purpose and a function. And I think it was actually a huge relief when Apple came out and had the MagSafe, because it was like, see, it's okay. Apple's not going to put, your phone or your cards in danger. They sell a wallet case, and
that's true.
So yeah,
that's true. Awesome.
And I mean, memory's changed so much now that it's flash memory, which isn't affected by magnetic fields. You're safe there. So it's certainly, like back in the day, like a CRT monitor or something, you put a magnet on it and it would just
that's it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys maybe ruined some TVs or monitors.
Every curious kid with magnets. Yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Awesome.
Definitely torn up a lot of things in my younger years.
That's a good design.
Yeah.
Again, like you guys want to have any closing statements? You want to say anything, like shout anything out?
Let me think.
No shout outs prepared.
I'll shout out to
the team that keeps us going.
Yeah, shout out to the people behind small businesses that make it possible. There's a lot that you want to do and a lot you can do when you have really wonderful support. And our marketing team, Guild in Charleston, and Rebecca is our entire customer support staff. She great. Was the first person that we hired, and she's really the heart of Distil. She's interacting with customers, and that's so important. That's such an important part of your business. And so just shout out to the people that make small businesses possible, and
nice commerce who
our fulfillment
ships all of our stuff. They're great, great group that's basically built up over the last 3 years. An incredible business. If any e-commerce businesses out there need to ship real product, check out Nice Commerce in Charleston. So.
And we've been through like 5 3PLs. So
we've been through a lot.
They're
the best that we've dealt with.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Super grateful for them. And thanks for Curious Minds and for people like you and your listeners who want to talk about this kind of stuff and
thank you so much
from
for
each
being
other
here.
And doing stories.
I appreciate it so much. I hope you guys have an amazing Friday, amazing weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Hopefully we can talk again soon.
That sounds good. We'll keep you posted on what's next.
Yeah, please do.
Thanks for reaching out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye guys. Take care.
Bye.
Take care.
And if you enjoyed this video you just watched, please hit like and subscribe. And be sure to stop by techtime.com for the latest in news about tech, science, business, and so much more.